Our tour is at 10. Today is Monday, the 23rd of March. Hard to believe it's already March. And on today's tour, I thought we would bring you into the Grandma Moses Gallery and talk a little bit about Grandma Moses. The Grandma Moses Gallery is one of my favorite places in the museum. Grandma Moses is one of my favorite artists of all time. Let's just turn around here. Here's the entrance to the gallery. Kind of interesting, the only known self-portrait of Grandma Moses. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But Grandma Moses, of course, was just an amazing artist, probably the most famous artist in America from about 1940 to 1960. Truly amazing. Her rise in popularity, the inspiration that she brought to so many people all over the world, and I think arguably even today is so important to American culture and to all of us here. So one of the things that I was really curious about as I came to the Bennington Museum was just how was it that Grandma Moses came to be associated with the Bennington Museum, and how did we end up having and acquiring the largest collection of Grandma Moses paintings literally in the world. And to help answer that question, I am so excited to once again bring my co-star of our Tours at 10, Jamie Franklin, the curator here at the Bennington Museum. Good morning, Jamie. Just to notice everyone, we are self-isolating. We're not really isolating right now, are we? We're maintaining social distance. And so we recognize that it's sometimes hard to hear us. We're doing the very best we can. And so, Jamie, take it away.
Well, good morning. As Josh said, Grandma Moses, when I came here about 15 years ago to the Bennington Museum, Moses was a name that I had heard. But, having studied art history, wasn't necessarily a name that had come up a lot. But when I came here and started studying our collection here and Moses' life and work more generally, she too grew on me very quickly. And in fact, one of the very first projects that I did when I came here to the Bennington Museum was study how we had acquired all of these Grandma Moses paintings. A lot of times when a museum has a large collection or a large body of work by an artist, it's because their estate came to us. So a large body of work that the artist held on to after they passed away, their family may have given it to us or the artist may have bequeathed it. Well, that's not what happened here. We accumulated a large collection over time. We owned only one work when she passed away in 1961. It was actually a needlework, one of her early needleworks given to us by her granddaughters, who she helped care for when she lived here in Bennington between 1932 and 1935 when their mother was sick with tuberculosis. And this is an image of Bennington by Grandma Moses from 1945. You can see Grandma Moses always was creative in her composition of images, even when they were places that she knew very, very well. So this shows the downtown thoroughfare. You can see right here these gray buildings and this yellow building. They're based on a postcard of looking south down South Street and then east along East Main Street. But here you have a little gambrel home. She lived in a gambrel home off of Dewey Street when she lived in Bennington caring for her granddaughters. These paintings here in the Grandma Moses Gallery and the larger Grandma Moses collection really accumulated over time. So after she passed away in 1961, the museum started a very fruitful relationship with the Galerie Saint-Étienne. Otto Collier, who ran the Galerie Saint-Étienne, brought Grandma Moses to famous, showing her work at the gallery and helping to market her work to a larger audience, signing contracts with Hallmark greeting cards in 1946, sending out 16 million greeting cards to America. And so in the 1960s, the museum started working with the Galerie Saint-Étienne to have a permanent display of Grandma Moses works on loan. And then from the 1960s into the 70s, 80s, 90s, and all the way up to today, we've been receiving gifts from family members, from friends of Grandma Moses who owned paintings during her lifetime, and at times when we're able to go out and acquire great works that help fill in gaps in our collection. So for example, this painting of Bennington from 1945 was one of the paintings that, because of its subject matter and being so of such local interest, we went out and acquired at auction and brought here to the collection. In 1973, we moved Grandma Moses' schoolhouse, which I'm sure will be featured in a future edition of Tours at 10. And so it was a slow accumulation, but we now have the world's largest public collection of works by Grandma Moses, as well as a very large archive of materials documenting her life and her work. Some of her source materials, things that fans would send her from across America and really across the world. And so it's really been a slow accumulation over the course of the last 55, 60 years since she passed away, and now we do have the largest public collection in the world.
That is amazing. Thank you so much, Jamie. I mean, Grandma Moses, how can it get any better than Grandma Moses, especially when we all need a little bit of hope, a little bit of nostalgia, and a little bit of really sort of comfort. And I think that's what's really great about Grandma Moses. I think if we all take time and do what Grandma Moses would be doing in a pandemic, which is probably just carrying on, and she'd probably be painting and home spinning and making do and making the best of what was given her. And so as I end today, our tour at 10, I guess my question to you all is think about what Grandma Moses might be doing during a pandemic. As silly, as crazy as that sounds, but I hope that if you think about that, and think about the fact that, like Grandma Moses, we all have an artistic spirit inside of us. I'm convinced that this pandemic is going to bring the best out of us in our country, in our world. So on that note, thank you so much for joining. We will continue to try to bring these to you for as long as we can. And just remember, we are going to get through this. We're going to survive, and we're going to have a great world for us to come back to and a great museum to come back to. As I said the other day, Bennington is strong, Vermont is strong, and our country is strong. God bless and stay safe, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.